We apologize for the turbulence. We know
It's another episode of the Howling Wolf. You already know what it is. Big 2S right here with you, man. If you ain't fucking with me, you already fucked yourself twice, baby. Your name nice. Now, you know who's sitting to my left, all the way from I'm Sick Detroit. Big Quamo to go. What up, though?
What's the deal, man? Jungle Juice, Howling Wolf podcast, man. I'm Sick Detroit. We back in the building, man, once again.
Already, my baby. We about to have a good time tonight, man. But first, before we get it poppin', shout out to the hottest DJ on Jungle Juice, DJ Don. What up, though?
What's the deal? What's the deal?
All right.
Yo.
We got a special guest in today, man. My man Ampty came through to bless us with some of the vibes today, man. We're going to talk about a little bit of Detroit Rock City vibes tonight, man. What up, Ampty?
What up, man? Happy to be here on the Howling Wolf podcast. Thanks for bringing me in.
Appreciate it, man. I've been kicking it with you, man. We was talking about your music, and I was thinking about having you on the show, and I was like, what am I going to talk to you about? What I want people to know about you? And I was thinking about my connection and how we talked, really just networking and being cool and open to different people with different interests. And a lot of what I've learned in the industry is a reflection of what Detroit Rock City is. You can't talk about the underground hip hop. You can't talk about the Motown and the entrepreneurship and the space that we occupy as independent artists without acknowledging Detroit Rock City and our rock and roll history and the indie bands and the independent artists that work here. In high school, some of the first music videos that I ever directed wasn't hip hop videos, wasn't rap battles. It was garage bands that took a chance on me, a black young creative kid with a vision that wanted to do music videos and stuff, to narrate the vision for their songs. And this kid from Detroit that don't really know shit about rock and roll fused and made some dope shit. And it really taught me a lot about the background of
Roots, where it all started.
Like, even that, not even so much the music, but just the background of how to run things in the music business, of turning your art and passion into something that is actually a way to live your life. Viable. Right. Like, I saw my buddies going on tours. Like, I saw my homies, we rapped around the lunch table and stuff, and we did that. But until we saw somebody on TV, we always wondered, damn, how did he make it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I never saw the mechanics of how independent artists really began to establish themselves as much. And I never encountered people willing to share that information as much as I did until I tapped into the Detroit rock and roll scene. Mm-hmm. You feel me?
You're right.
So, like, I just want to talk to you a little bit about your background, Ampty, of the type of music you make and your journey as an independent artist and some of the lessons in the spaces you've occupied as you start to have shows and promote yourself and build a following.
Okay, yeah. So it all started in 2014 when I was stationed in South Korea, and I saw how the clubs were there, and I wanted to bring that vibe back to Detroit when I came back to stateside. Mm-hmm. So I made a plan back then. I want to own a nightclub in Detroit one day. Mm-hmm. So when I got out of the Army, I pursued my bachelor's degree in entertainment at the University of Arizona, and then I contacted one of the club owners in our area at the Crowfoot Ballroom, and he told me to go back to school. It was COVID time, 2020. Nothing's going down in the entertainment scene. He said, go back to school. So I went back and I got my master's degree in entrepreneurship. And then I hit him back up and I said, hey, I've been making music now since 2018. Should I quit that out or should I keep at it? Because, my goal is to open a club. He said, you're doing the right thing, getting involved in the scene in any way you can. So keep at it. Around that time is when I decided to start my own label and help other artists who are trying to get their start in the entertainment industry too. He gave me a job at the Crowfoot, the owner of the Crowfoot did, and he put me in a management position so that I could see the inner workings of actually running a venue, not just making the music and being brought into the venue, but bringing the artists in.
That's dope, but like, let's pause for a minute because that was a lot of information.
It is.
That's
like 8 years.
A long journey and so many milestones that you kind of like threw in there. And I didn't want to interrupt you and pause, but like there's a lot from even making a decision, hey, I want to do this, to how do I do this? You went from like, yo, I want to do this. Oh, this is not working. let me go back to school and get some tools to come into the business from a different angle. Oh, that's not working. Let me get a mentor and come back at the business from a different angle and build relationships that keep me embedded in this. A lot of people just go, oh, shit, you don't like my song. Nobody's vibing with me. Fuck the world.
Yeah, so
I ain't
don't
making
fuck
shit
with
up.
anybody. That's not the way to do it. I think mentors are the most important part of working your way into the industry. They've done it already. There's a lot we can learn from them. And as they get older, they're going to be looking for young guys like us to replace them and hope that we have the knowledge, that we've gained some knowledge from them.
Right.
So, like, at what point did you go from, like as a creative, like, I want to make music to, damn, I really need to be paying attention to, like, the business of music and how to, like, start shifting my attention to different, like, lanes as a, like, it's a difference from going from a performer to the owner of a record label and now having artists of your own that you're promoting.
Let me cut you off, but most people, you know, they look at that what he's doing is deeper than music to him. You know, I'm pretty much sure you can agree. You know, it's deeper than music to you.
It's easy to get lost in the music making process.
Right.
And I think that's what happened for at least a year there. I was completely submerged in the studio, not thinking about the business at all anymore. And then one day I kind of like snapped and came to it, and I was like, I've been putting all my efforts into making music. I'm getting off track. I knew what my goal was, to open a club of my own. And the music might help. I met a lot of people by making music, but that's never been my end goal. So I kind of put a pause on that.
Right.
And that's when I brought together the other artists and put together the label. It's like, I'm taking a pause from making music. If you guys could keep it going, keep the momentum going for the production, I can start working on the business end of things.
It's almost like because you have decided not to commit yourself to only playing one role, it allows you to switch hats and become like a better navigator through the space. As you like, okay, I'm an artist when I'm hot here. I'm a promoter when I'm hot in this space. I'm a manager when I see a person with talent and stuff like that. You really are just kind of curating a space where you're always useful.
Right. If I'm able to step into certain roles at certain times, depending on the needs of the company that I'm working with or the needs of my own label, I can gear myself towards the different aspects of the business rather than just sticking to one. So it's been useful for sure.
And as I come like into my growth in this business and stuff and build relationships and stuff, like I have people that approach me, ask me to manage them and stuff like that. And I've started entering into that as my relationships have grown and my vision, and I hear talent and start to curate spaces. How do you transition from that that space where you're not an artist, you like, okay, I'm willing to put my reputation on the line to represent another artist? Like, how do you feel confident enough, not only in your own talent, but your opinion to acquire a talent in other people?
So bringing out other people's talent and putting my money on the table to bring in other artists, that also benefits my own reputation too. If these artists are viable to the business and to the scene, if other people are coming in to see them and they know who's running the show, it benefits both of us. It's not just him or just me. I'm not really behind the scenes. When I do management, they know I'm the promoter, and if I say there's a party here, people are more likely to show up than if only that artist was saying I'm doing a show here. So we work together as a team. It's not really putting one guy up front and one guy steps back. We're both right there with each other, making it happen.
What's some of the challenges of being an artist and a manager at the same time when you have the interest of putting yourself in a position to win and to look good and to perform well, and of course your other person, like you say, in a perfect world, I want you to do good because if the show's good, you're good, but like in reality, people have egos and personalities.
Right.
So like when you are there and you a guy opens for you, but he feels like he did better, so he should be the closer, or something like that changes, and now I have to make a decision as an artist and as a manager all in the same, even though you're both trying to promote yourself. Like, what skills and what experiences can you speak to of navigating that in the real? Because it seems like that's super challenging to be in the artist and perform and collaborate with somebody that you could possibly be managing.
Right. So as far as one artist opening up for another one, the plan is set before the show even starts. They know that they can't overplay the final act, but they need to support each other. He needs to get the crowd ready for that final act, and that could pay off in the future because he'll be the final act eventually, and he can bring those smaller guys in and have them support him. It's not really anybody stealing anybody else's role. It has to be, and you have to be level-headed and equal with everybody that you're sharing the stage with. But it's part of the plan as far as who's gonna support the other artist, and it's just all part of a master plan, really.
So, like, as you talking about your show, can you tell us a little bit about some of the artists that's going to be on your show at the Crowfoot coming up, and what I forgot your flyer today, but you were talking about the show you were just coming up with, had a bunch of artists, and I think it's coming up in about a week.
May 24th, actually. We have a couple weeks left, but we're getting ready for it every day. We're doing something to contribute to that show. It's the Detroit Doors. They originated in Detroit, but they do all Doors shows. The classic rock band, the Doors.
No, I'm very familiar with the Doors work.
And they've been around 17 years as this tribute band, and they, out of the whole world, they claim to be the #1 Doors tribute, and a lot of people would agree with that. That's why I chose them for my first big show that I'm doing on my own at the Crowfoot. They have the experience and the crowd to bring in enough people to make it a successful show, and everybody loves the Doors music. So that show is May 24th, and I'm trying to bring around 1,100 people in for that.
All right. Well,
you don't get to see the Doors, the Detroit Doors in Oakland County, rarely ever. So this is going to be a first-time thing for them in Oakland County. Hopefully we can bring in a new crowd and attract some new base for them.
That's dope, man. I've always was a big fan of the Doors and Jim Morrison. One of the things I loved about them was they were able to be such an impactful band with so dope, like, rhythm, like bluesy sounding melodies with no bass guitar.
Right.
Like, that's mind-blowing. The only other group I ever seen do that, like, honestly, was the White Stripes. And the White Stripes and the Doors are two completely different animals.
Right. So with the Detroit Doors, they play how the albums are played, the Doors albums. So we actually have a bass player on the stage, because in some of the Doors songs on their albums, they had a bass player, but you'd never see one on stage with them.
Oh.
So that's what we did. That's the one thing that we do different to set us apart from the rest of the Doors tribute bands. We actually have a bass player on stage. And in addition to the bass player, we have a harmonica player. So those blues songs really come to life.
That's dope, man, because that was one of the first rock bands from the 70s that really helped me connect with other players, because, like, some of the old Panthers and stuff and the Outliers and the alternative black guys who were older and into Bob Dylan and into the Doors, Led Zeppelin and stuff, like, you heard some of that. But to be honest, we grew up on Motown, on blues, on, Johnny Guitar Watson and stuff like that more. So I didn't grow an appreciation for the Beatles until, like, I got into more diverse crowds and a little bit older, because the Yellow Submarine was way over my head. I couldn't fuck with it, bro, to be honest.
Ask you a question?
Yeah.
I remember you earlier, when you was explaining yourself, you said that you were in the service, right?
Yes.
So how did it feel for you to transition over to an artist/businessman in the music industry? How does that feel?
It's probably the most drastic transition that one could do.
Like, what was going through your mind? What was the motivation? Then how did you transition over?
So when I joined the Army, I didn't know if I was going to make it a lifetime thing or if I was going to do my 4 years and get out. But once I saw the entertainment scene in South Korea, and I was in Gangnam and the college towns in South Korea, I realized that's what I love. I love bringing people together or seeing people all together for the same purpose, to celebrate. What they could be celebrating could all be different.
Right.
But to bring people together to celebrate is what really got me, and that's my motivation.
Right.
Provide that place, a safe place for people to celebrate in.
So I feel like, the energy I'm getting from you, I feel like you fell in love with music over there.
I fell in love with the scene over there.
Right.
I didn't fall in love with music until 2018 in college.
Okay.
There was a guy, one of my roommates, he was a guitarist, and he needed somebody to make the rest of the music. Okay. To make a full song.
And that's where you come in at.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't play any instruments. I don't know how to do any of that.
Okay.
It's like, we can figure it out. So I went to Guitar Center, and I said, I got a guitarist, I have a singer, and I want to do everything in between to connect them. He said, all right, this is what you need. I got a Native Instruments Machine MK3. It's a beat pad, a synthesizer with 8 oscillators. Okay. It's an all-in-one production machine.
Right.
So I was able to bring the guitar in through there and the vocals in the other input. And I would make the drums and the synthesizers, the melody, the bass. I put everything else in the song. And we were able to make songs together that way.
Okay, well, for those who's listening, what can you tell somebody that's up and coming that's doing the same thing that you're doing?
As far as starting a band?
Starting a band, everything. Like, what advice can you tell somebody that's coming up?
Yeah, so dedication, if any members of the band aren't as dedicated as the next, it's not going to work out because they're going to leave. You're going to spend all your time finding that next member of the band rather than being productive and making the music. So find another group of individuals who are as motivated as you, if that's what you really want.
Can I speak to a little bit about because you got so much you bringing up too, because you pack a lot of information in a good way. Sometimes I forget to go back and ask about the beginning of it too, because my man brought back up the military and how that's such a crazy transition. But to be honest, I don't see it in the reflection of you as a crazy transition, even if you like interpreted it that way. You seem like you just took that driven kind of military skills and very pragmatically took it into your passion, and that is why you are so good at putting teams and productive things in motion. The way you execute, I see a lot of people with talent and purpose and ideas, and even in the reflection of myself, one of my biggest problems is not my abilities, it's my ability to execute.
Right.
And I do think, what is about those military skills that might not be thought of as a creative skill that has really helped your success?
So I think the planning process and execution that we did in the military, so we'd spend months, sometimes years, training for one mission. And that mission might last half an hour to, could be a full day, but usually it would be a half an hour to a few hours max for a mission. But we spent so long training and getting ready for it, putting together the right team, getting everybody in the right positions. I think that really helped me with managing in the entertainment industry. You know where people, you see people's strength and you know where to place them, and from there, they really just need that. You need to be a point of contact for them. They know what to do, because you put them in the right place. It's just being the glue for the group. Is really what a manager is out in the outside world, outside of the military.
Okay. I feel like you have a lot more. I feel like it's more too. Like what's next for you? You accomplished so much. You know what I'm saying? What's next?
So I can't speak on some of the things that we have coming up next, but me and the other industry players, we have things in the plan, in the workings, but they aren't public yet. But I can tell you that it's going to be big, and my motivation now isn't what I've done in the past. Now it's what's coming.
Right, of course.
Get ready for something big in the Detroit area, though.
Okay, that's good to know, because it's a lot of, it's 2024.
Yeah.
You know, we want to see new things. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And new, exciting things. You know what I'm saying? So this is exciting to me. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
And there's so many players nowadays.
Right.
It's like who's gonna actually make it happen now?
Exactly. So that's all about now, you know, in today's world. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely know that you're definitely motivated. You have a plan. You have been executing your plan. That's what it sounds like, you know, and I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Thank you. I'm glad that you're gonna be here for it.
Yes.
We talked a lot about the mechanics of how you got into the business and how you facilitate your business, right? I want to talk to you about your introduction with your roommate. You got into it. You started playing. You got a lot of useful information about the type of equipment that you use and how you got into it. But I want to talk to you about that spark and that passion and that influence, right? About the actual music that you make and how it moves you. Like one of the things you said is you were stationed in Korea, and right now Korea is super hot in culture right now. I've always been a fan of Korea horror films and Korea action films because their plots and storylines were so kind of deep and emotional.
Right.
Right now K-pop is super big with the kids because of the melodies and everything and the dancing and the precision and stuff. They're making waves, of course, of, you know, food, everything about Korea. Like when you went there, you're miles away from a place that you've never experienced, and you say you were just caught up by all these people coming together. But what about that culture? Because I'm sure in America you went to a club before you were deployed.
Right.
You've been to music festivals. I'm sure you've experienced concerts in your life in America. What about you just clicked and just made it like, wow, this experience is something special?
Yeah. So I'd say what made it special in Korea versus the clubs or festivals in America. In South Korea, you don't see drugs like anywhere. Drugs are not something that's like that people do when they go out. People are going out and they're drinking, but the joy in these that I could see in these people just coming together and just like dancing and enjoying the music and grooving. It's not like America. Like people have alternate purposes when they go out in America. I think it's to get messed up or
It's just
It's an
every
escape
party.
more than it is an experience.
right. Like not as much as so it's a destination, and that's what I want to have is a destination. And you could tell at these clubs in Korea, they're destination venues. They aren't somewhere to go like let's go out on a Thursday night, pick a place. They knew I'm going to Club Octagon. Club Octagon is the whole vibe, so we're gonna go there, and we already know it's gonna be a good time. We aren't gonna get there and have to get messed up to feel good. We're gonna go there and it'll be a great time.
So it looks like you're into curating a space. Like you like the balance of the experience, the type of people that's there, the vibe, the music, and all. It seems like it was kind of a combination of all of that together. Like what kind of music are you genuinely influenced by and drawn to?
My favorite music is bass heavy music. So nowadays they call this kind of electronic music bass music or rhythm. So it makes a lot of people headbang. Some people just move really weird to it, but whatever they need to do, I'm cool with it. Hip hop is also a big influence for me. Growing up in this area, in the Detroit metro area, hip hop was all around. And I like hip hop because the artists it's like an outlet for them to reach others. Where electronic music is an outlet to help the attendees like bring out what's in them rather than the rapper getting out what's in him. And he does help other people feel like the way that he feels they can relate to him. But with bass music, it's about how the beat makes you feel rather than relating to it.
Right.
Got you.
So those two types of music are my major influences.
I think it's dope. I'm gonna be honest. I never was like super huge into techno trance sounding music. I do like dubstep a little bit, kind of rhythm, but I was always more of a house.
Right.
I like the kind of impact the African American women and vocalists kind of had on house music.
They're the originators.
I kind of grew up with that connection between the Midwest and Chicago and Detroit and our scene with that smooth kind of R&B with the dance and up-tempo kind of house music, that kind of positive, upbeat trance, because like you said, the beat kind of influences you to feel something. It resonates a frequency that transmits you somewhere. It's not necessarily what you feel.
It's hard to feel sad when you're listening to house music.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's really kind of what I dig about it, is the vibrations of it. You feel me? So it's almost like a nonverbal connection with that many people at once can be a powerful thing.
Exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. All those people with the same goal in mind to celebrate and enjoy themselves. House music is a good way to foster that kind of environment.
Jazz too.
Jazz for sure.
Jazz. I every time I love jazz. Every time I listen to jazz, I just get in a calm mode. I gather my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I even go to sleep sometimes, listening to jazz and everything like that. So jazz play a big part in how it helps your mood sometimes, you know.
Oh, yeah. It helps things move smoother in your mind, I feel.
Definitely.
I think it's something about the bass, though, that I do resonate a little bit more with the trance because of how deep it hits you from there. It feels like a deeper feeling when you do feel the beat inside you and everything. Is it something, do you think, the influence of being in Korea and attaching yourself to a music that doesn't necessarily have an expression, words, or content allows you the freedom to express something that a lot of people don't understand with your military background? Do you think being drawn to something without lyrics that's more kind of influences you to feel something than you letting out something you feel is a reason for that?
So after the military, a lot of people would ask, what was it like? How do you feel now? How are you adjusting? The music without lyrics, the electronic music that I could really feel, and it would allow me to process things in my head and just go through things in a different way. When I was more able to explain it to people when they would ask me questions about the military, because I was able to process it better while listening to those types of music.
Okay.
That's a dope experience, man. Well, we are going to go to break real quick, man. We're going to come back and take a listen to some of your music and do a reaction and just kind of see what the vibe is like, man. I'm excited to see it. Thanks for coming by, bro. We'll be right back after the break, y'all. Stay tuned. What up, though, man? The Howling Wolf here with Jungle Juice and my man DJ Don.
What's the deal? What's the deal?
Hey, and we back with my man. We amped up with Ampty. What's up, though?
What up?
Hey, man. We've been having a good time, man, talking about the music, talking about your journey, which is super, super, like, detailed and interesting. I could talk to you all night about that. But we were talking about your musical influences, man, and we got into one of my favorite bands, The Doors, and how your new artist and the new event that you're throwing and organizing at the Crowfoot is one of, they brag to be the greatest Doors cover band in Detroit, the Detroit Doors. Tell us about the song you about to play for us, man.
So about 2 weeks ago, me and the Doors got together in their studio in Waterford, and we recorded a whole 7-track album. And me and my guys mixed and mastered it, and we just finished it up. So I wanted to share one of my favorites off the album with you. It's called "Touch Me."
No Diddy.
Come on now, touch me, babe. Can't you see that I am not afraid? What was that promise that you made? Why don't you tell me what she said? What was that promise that you made? Now I'm gonna love you till the heavens stop the rain. I'm gonna love you till the stars fall from the skies. For you and I
right, man. I like that, man. That's one of my favorites by the Doors,
It's
and
a
that
vibe
was
for sure.
Detroit
It's a
Doors,
good
man.
vibe.
It took me back
It's a
to
good
like
vibe.
the early thousands, man. I don't know if y'all know anything about the Doors, but if you expand your palette, it's all over hip hop. If you was a big Z fan, I think that was the Blueprint album.
So you say you no, go ahead.
But I was saying, I think that was the Blueprint album that they sampled the Doors. If not that song, I think it was Higher.
Yeah.
I think it was Higher. He sampled Jay-Z back in the day.
It's Light My Fire.
Light My Fire, yeah. Come on, baby, Light My Fire.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest
what's up.
samples that he did. I remember when GTA was out and Madden in the early thousands, Snoop Dogg redid the Riders on the Storm.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
Riders on the Storm. So
That's
did
my
you
number.
so you produced that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went into the studio, recorded it, and then me and my guy mixed and mastered it together in
Okay.
his studio.
So what's your, I like to ask, I'm saying a lot of artists is this. So do you enjoy, making a song, or what's your favorite process, like making a song or like hearing it after it's done, or actually in the studio making it, or hearing it after it's done? What's your
Or
favorite part?
performing
The what?
Or performing.
Oh,
performing.
performing is number one always.
Number one.
But being in the studio, I love it. I'd say making the music, I like a little bit more than producing other
Okay.
people's music.
Right.
But there's nothing like making somebody else's vision come a reality too.
Okay, that's dope.
So they kind of equal out.
Right. And you say you got your new artist.
Yeah. So I wanted to share another song with you from my newest artist on my label, Hiatus Records Entertainment.
Okay.
His name is Kyle Ranger.
Okay.
And he recently graduated from the University of Indiana. He got his master's degree in music there. I don't know if you know about that school. It's a really big school for music in America.
Okay.
So I'm really happy to have him on the label. He's my house music artist.
Oh, okay.
And the one I wanted to share with you is called Mud Cup. He made this when he was still in college. It's got college vibes for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Coming up. So while that's loading, this artist, Kyle Ranger, he can make any type of electronic music. He recently made a jazz beat, and we're working on a blues beat right now for a singer, an older gentleman. He's a really good singer though, so we're making him write for him.
Okay.
So he's well versed in the music that he makes. He was kind of disappointed when I labeled him a house artist because he likes to make it all. So the first album that we put out, the first EP, is a 3-song EP with all house music, but they're varied in I can't say genre, but they're varied in like style.
Okay.
So the next one that we put out is going to be a full album, and it's going to have all his different genres that he makes, so it won't be necessarily a house album.
Right.
That's dope, man. I think he shouldn't be so attached to the labels, because sometimes we feel like it will stop us from expressing the full spectrum of ourselves. But really, it doesn't matter what label they put on you, because when you draw from all your experiences, you expand the boundaries of that genre anyway, when you start just being truly yourself.
Right.
And when you pull from all those different aspects of yourself, it just makes that style bigger.
The last thing I want to do is put limitations on my artists that are part of the label. I want them to, whatever they're able to make at that time, whatever is inspiring them, they should be able to put that out to the public. So I would never turn down a track because it's the wrong style outside of their typical genre.
That's dope, man.
All right. Respectable.
I think it's so messed up here.
That's all right. While we're waiting for that, man, it sounds like you have a lot of great relationships and a lot of great ambition that you've been curating to make these events really pop off for you, the artists that you are promoting. So if you are one of those artists that wants somebody with an open mind and a lot of skill and execution behind what they believe in, how can you send out the information for and inspire artists to maybe see if they are of the caliber to vibe and connect with you to expand their career?
Yeah, I'd say the best way would be to go to my website, hiatusmusicentertainment.com. That the hiatus, a lot of people don't know how to spell that. It's HIATUS musicentertainment.com. Just shoot me a message on there, or if you prefer, you can go to my Instagram, ampty.music. Shoot me a message there.
All right, sound like you ready. Let's play this
right.
one more time. The artist name and track.
Kyle Ranger, and this is his latest album, Mud Cup.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Yo, that was dope.
That was fire.
You know what? I feel like I was just at a Miami's nightclub with two bad bitches.
You feel me? That was some player shit. I was
No, I
expecting
like
off
it, for sure.
the title for it to be that smooth.
Kyle Ranger, you're dope.
Hey man, we fucking with you.
Shout
over
out
there.
to you, man.
Wanna pull the
Mission
space out.
accomplished, Kyle. Good job, Kyle.
Dig.
For sure. That was the vibe. That's a good vibe. It's a good vibe.
Thank you.
That's what I
You know.
expect to feel when I hear a house beat.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? I
Yeah,
don't
real
like
house.
it when it's too close to that trance shit, and it's
Yeah.
you could tell when the sound changes are gonna come in right
Yeah.
on every 8 count,
Right.
16 count, and I can tell you when the beat's gonna
Oh,
drop.
that is a
This is gonna be a
vibe.
sound.
That's a
and
good
it wasn't
vibe.
that. It was a rhythm. It was a vibe.
You probably weren't
Fuck with
expecting those lyrics, were you?
I wasn't.
I wasn't.
I wasn't.
I wasn't. That's why I said he just took me to Miami with two bad bitches.
Right.
That's how I feel.
That was
like
his
yeah,
goal, I
was-
believe.
Yeah, like he definitely nailed it.
Yeah,
For sure.
man. Rick Wolff approved over here. We fuck with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
for
man.
sure.
So what's the plans, man? You guys, DIMF is one of the biggest electronic music festivals in the world, let alone the United States, and it's right here in Detroit. So, like, what plans are you doing as you organizing events to bring out for all those people that want to come out and enjoy the city?
Yeah.
Since you are organizing and curating these dope artists in these dope spaces, how can we come out and vibe with you, bro?
So all the main stages are taken up, but I will be providing pre-parties and post-parties for the movement.
Okay.
The locations are not approved or released yet, but when that comes available, I will give that information to Wolff, and he can share that with you all.
For sure,
man. For sure, man. That's dope.
But you
man.
can count on them being in the city at a
Okay.
dope location, exclusive location.
Okay, so I gotta ask you this. You know, since you're an artist and you do your business side, you know what I'm saying? You went to school and everything. If you can make, not think about it. Think about this question slowly. It's no rush. If you can make one song with one producer and two artists, who would it be?
Good question. So the producer I already know would be Martin or Liquid Stranger.
Okay.
I forget what country he came here from. I think it was Sweden, but he's been in the U.S. for a little while now. He's my favorite electronic producer, and he works with a lot of vocalists out there now too. For the vocalists, go Kehlani and Dave.
Okay. Explain. I mean, explain the talents that you got.
Dave is probably the biggest he's the most up and coming. He's a singer from the UK,
Okay.
and he has like a hardcore British accent.
Okay.
But he does rap. But the way he does rap, it's melodic rap.
Okay.
And then Kehlani just has a beautiful voice, like that. That
Right.
voice is something else, and I think that she would make a good pair with some heavy bass music.
Okay.
And then Dave could throw in his deep British accent. I think it would sound really dope.
That's dope.
And not to interrupt y'all, but we do have a new feature. I forget to tell y'all at the beginning of the show. Please forgive me. We do have the Jungle Juice radio line up and running, and it is ringing for us.
Call that line, man.
You feel
Call
me?
it.
So
Listen.
one of the Jungle Juice listeners text in and say, "Do your artist you just played only make house music?" And we were talking about how wide his range is. So what other projects does he have? Because they're loving the house music.
Yeah.
What else does he make?
So I call him my house artist just because I already have a bass music artist and a trance artist on the label. But lately he's been making a lot of bass music.
Okay.
Not really rhythm, not dubstep, just bass heavy music that you can move to and feel deep in you. So bass album is what you can count on next. Also he has it's like a progressive house song coming out too that'll be
Right.
released right before the
Okay.
album. It's a collaboration with his friend in Chicago,
Okay.
and that artist's name escapes me, but I've
Okay.
listened to it and it's awesome. I'm excited for everybody to hear that one.
Okay.
That we're planning on releasing that the second week of May, so that's coming up about a week and a half now.
Okay.
All right, man. That sounds pretty dope, bro. I'm really excited to get out and see the way you organize and put some of these great shows. I'm fully confident that they're going to be dope because you fully research and do your recon and attack everything like it's a mission. So I'm really, really excited to see what you accomplish at the Crowfoot with this next show.
Before we move on from that one question that the guest asked, on my website, on the hiatusmusicentertainment.com, we sell my beats and Kyle Ranger's beats. So you can find jazz beats there, and the blues beat won't be public. We're just making that specifically. But right now there's jazz beats and hip-hop beats up there.
All right,
Dope.
man. So if you're an independent artist and you're looking for resources, if you're looking for that different sound, something creative, something off the beating path that everybody else is going to that same well and everybody's starting to taste a little bit of the same, get you some new flavor, man. Go out to hiatus.com. Am I saying it right?
Hiatusmusicentertainment.com.
Hiatusmusicentertainment.com.
Hiatus.
All right. What's the other? We were talking off air about your other event you have, I think, at the Russell.
Yeah. So this coming Saturday, I believe that's May 4th. Yep. We're going to have Detroit Bay City, the second year of Detroit Bay City at the Russell Industrial Center in Detroit. Mm-hmm. There's multiple stages there. Every stage has a different vibe. The big artists coming are going to be Gengar, who just evolved from Gasly. Mm-hmm. He's been in the electronic music scene for probably 10 years at least now. And then Wolff, who is a Michigan native, but he's been blowing up over the last couple of years. Wolff is a headliner.
Shout out.
All right, man. So that's going to be a dope experience, man. What is it going to look like? Do you have any information on the ticket sales or when they're going to be available and how you can reach those to attend? The
tickets for the Detroit-based city are available on ticketweb.com, not Ticketmaster, ticketweb.com.
Ticketweb. Mm-hmm. Go get y'all tickets, man. Go get y'all tickets. Support.
If you want fee-free tickets, you can always get a hold of me through the website or my Instagram.
Wholesale, bitches.
Wholesale. You know.
Right.
All right, man. Look, Ampty, we appreciate you, man. You full of information, man. You got a great wealth of experience and a dope journey and a dope story, bro.
Thanks.
So we are going to be getting out of here, but we have one more. My man asks from the Jungle Juice line, one last question to cap us off. Does the label only do house music or are they open to hip hop? Sounds like everybody's impressed by the way you think and the way you pragmatically support your artists, man. And it sounds like you're aspiring artists from all different type of genres to reach out to you. So what kind of artists do you work with? Have you worked with
or willing to work with?
Right.
There you go.
Currently, we work with hip-hop artists and electronic music artists of all genres, but my label actually began as a rock label mixed with electronic music.
Okay.
Metal at that.
Okay.
All right.
So I have one hip-hop artist on the label right now. We had two, but had to keep the quality of the label high, so now we're down to one.
Okay.
He's in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
All right, man. Shout out to H-Town. Shout out to all my family out there in the suburbs and Sugarland and all that. You feel me?
But we don't discriminate as far as genre of artist or type of music they make. I've got a guy in Alaska, in a small village of Alaska, making our bass music right now.
Okay.
The guy from Indiana that you just heard, he just moved to Michigan to be closer to the roots of the label. And then in Colorado, in Boulder, Colorado, we have a lo-fi. He makes lo-fi flips and amongst other types of beats.
Man, I've been telling producers that want to exercise and get into like expanding it, flips, bro.
Yeah.
Every time I get online and study, people are playing lo-fi hip-hop to the point where Tidal and everybody are curating lists. You be making money off your beats that nobody's buying just by putting a lo-fi flip on it and making bank without hunting down the artist to sell it to. And nobody's thinking about that.
Yeah, sometimes you have to do a flip to show artists like the potential of a beat.
Man, and that's thinking outside of the box and maximizing your talent and how to expose yourself and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So that really have to have somebody that understands how to strategize and promote you to show off your strengths.
Absolutely.
Man, that's something we're learning about the artistry and the game and management, man. So like he said, man, if you looking for management, if you're looking for artists, this is the place to find it. And you know I'm sick. Detroit always going to supply you with a wave. So thanks, my man Kwame, to go coming through.
You already know, man. This is my favorite spot to be, man.
I know y'all been vibing during the break, man. You know a nigga was on late. You know what I'm saying? We're going to change the name of this podcast to Smoke Time because anytime this motherfucker come on, it's the right time. You feel me?
Every
but
time.
we here, you dig?
Go
we
ahead.
couldn't do it and supply you without the vibes without my man DJ Don. DJ Don, let's
DJ
get some
Don
horns up in
always
this
holding it
bitch.
down.
Go to the board for yourself, my boy.
Always holding it down, man. Just go ahead and, sit you down
man.
some, light you up some.
And you know what I'm
Chill.
saying? Ampty came through with the worldwide sound, man. He named all the artists all over the country with all different signs. My man said, I got hoes in different
And they
area
hot too.
codes and
And they hot
motherfucking
too.
Eskimos wiggling
And they
their
hot too.
toes.
Right.
And
Let's
and,
go.
and it's different because they hot. You
They
know what
hot.
I'm saying?
They
So
ain't play no whack shit.
you know, hey, there you have it, man. There
You
you
know what
have
I'm
it.
saying? So if
The
you
only-
want to come out and have a good time, we got the best cover artist, The Doors, and you can't experience The Doors, but if you want to come out and experience great music live, this is the best next thing, bro. And let me tell you something about Jim Morrison. Was one of the baddest motherfuckers. So if you never got to experience him live, this is one of the best ways to experience that vibe.
Yeah.
My man partied so goddamn hard when he was alive, they kicked him out the goddamn cemetery when he was dead because people were showing up at his grave
Right.
to party in Paris.
All I can do is respect that.
Right.
You feel me? That's a real
Mad
gangster,
respect
man.
for Jim Morrison.
You feel me? So he might be gone, but the spirit of his music is still here. So come on down to the Crow Fruit and support my man Ampty.
Right.
You're going to see the Howling Wolf crew, Jungle Juice crew, and my man I'm Sick, Kwamo,
You're
Detroit
gonna see I'm
support.
sick everywhere you go. I'm sick support, man. We be in every event. We so love everybody. We do not discriminate. All genres, all music, hip hop, R&B, rock, jazz, everything.
All right.
Even the reggae. You know what I'm saying? We just love music, man, over here, man. So shout out to everybody that's doing their thing and that's doing good music and that's doing positive things with the music business, period.
Period, bro. And this is another episode of the Howling Wolf, man. This is what we do over here. We have dope conversations with dope people that do dope shit, and you get to watch it. So one more time, Ampty, hit them with the IG so they can find you, and we out of here.
Ampty.music. That's AMPT.music.
Boom.
Boom, there it is, y'all. We out.